Okay, ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? My friends, I have returned after my day off, my day away from streaming, and a day away from the internet and away from gaming. I am back, and I'm here to let you know exactly what you can expect coming up this week. I'm here to return to an awesome playthrough that I really enjoyed in the past week. And I'm going to be wrapping up today and starting up some of the expansion episodes of... Seriously, I am very excited for today. So, welcome, my friends. Welcome, welcome. Today is Sunday, June 24th, 2018. I'm Darkside Phil, of course. And welcome to the final week of the month. We're almost halfway through 2018, guys, if you can believe it. Yeah, we're almost halfway through. And... it's been a good year so far, in my opinion. In some ways, gaming's been great. In other ways, it's been kind of disappointing. It's certainly not a year where gaming has been so amazingly great in regards to so many giant AAA releases that blew us away. But I think a lot of us are very hopeful for the future, especially based off of the stuff that we just saw at E3 and the like. That's kind of my perspective. I'm looking at the next few months, and yes, the summer months typically are very slow. But I'm looking at the months of like September, October, November, and I'm like, wow, there's some really big games coming out. And then, of course, I'm looking at early next year. You know, in January and February of 2019 are going to be some of the hugest months ever for gaming. Like, the ginormous releases that are going to be coming out are just going to blow everyone away. And, yeah, it's going to be pretty crazy. So, I'm looking forward to it. But anyway, I'm back from my time away yesterday. This is a full new week of games and gameplay streaming for you guys. This is going to be another huge variety week. Since there's no big AAA major release this week, I'm going to be playing a wide variety of stuff for you guys on stream, which I'm going to run through right now. Before I get to that, though, I just want to remind everyone that today is Half-Life 2, and I will be having the Stream Stats leaderboard up. So if you look at the top of your screen right now, you'll see current subs, top cheer, and top tip. So if you either cheer, sub, or tip today, first of all, you're going to get a shout out, but also you're going to be able to contribute, okay, and get maybe your name up there for being the top cheerer or the top tipper. All right, so just throwing that out there before I get started with all my stuff that I get busy here with for 15 minutes or whatever, that you will eventually get credit, okay? All right, so let's talk, guys. Let's go through the schedule so you guys know exactly what to expect for the next week, because it's going to be one hell of a variety week, so get ready. Today, on stream right now, it's the conclusion of Half-Life 2's standard campaign. Alright, I'm actually at the very end of the game from what I'm going to understand. And then I'm going to be starting up Episode 1, which is the first major expansion to the Half-Life franchise. So depending on how long it takes for me to beat the main campaign, you know, we'll see how far I get into Episode 1. Alright? So it should be pretty fun to see... you know, how far I get in Half-Life today. Alright, no second stream tonight, guys. I've got a ton of shit to do tonight, including calling my parents, and, you know, usually I call them once a week, let them caught up on everything going on. I got a ridiculous amount of bills I got to pay tonight. It's kind of my monthly day where I have to pay everything, among other things, you know, among other things that are also going on. So, FYI, tons and tons of things that I got to get done tonight. So I will not be able to do any kind of a second session or whatever, but I will be doing the weekend preview tonight. Alright. Tomorrow, it's going to be more Mario Tennis Aces, and I guess we're going to determine if and how I can continue on with the campaign, because I played for 30 minutes at the end of Friday's stream and could not figure out how to beat Blooper. I don't know if I'm going to figure it out on Monday. If not, worst case scenario, I'm just going to play the game online and try to learn how to actually play the game competitively, because actually, from all the stuff I've been seeing on social media, when I look up people talking about Mario Tennis Aces, they're basically all in agreement. They're basically saying the game is incredibly fun to play online. Like, the connections are good. The game almost feels like a fighting game, going back and forth with charge shots and supers. But most people are actually agreeing the campaign sucks. There's actually people who are playing the game and saying, I love the online play. I'm having so much fun, whether I win or lose. Then I go to play the campaign, and the campaign is broken, unbalanced, and not fun. And it's funny because that's what I'm playing first in the game is the campaign, you know? So it's kind of like a dichotomy of people who are only playing the online love the game, and people who are playing the offline campaign don't like it. So maybe I should just say fuck this stupid campaign and play the game online. You know what I mean? I mean, if that's the case, maybe that's what I'll do. I don't know. Of course, now everyone's been playing the game all weekend, and I haven't played it once against a human, so I don't even understand really the mechanics. So I guess we'll see how it goes, guys. All right? So that will be Monday's main stream. Monday night will be the conclusion of Vampire. Finally. Yes, finally. In fact, I'm on the final boss right now. Okay? I'm on the final boss. I hope I finish it. So what I'm supposed to... What I understand is that after you beat the final boss, there's an entire final chapter of the game that's just epilogue. So you get to talk to characters. You get to see the end of their stories. You know what I mean? Like, you get a wrap-up kind of epilogue chapter to the game, which a lot of games don't do. A lot of games, you beat the final boss, you get a cutscene, the game's over. Apparently, Vampire actually has like a significant chunk of stuff after the final boss. So we'll see how that goes. And then if there's time, I'm going to review the game tomorrow night. Alright, so that'll end my Vampire playthrough. Tuesday, I'm going to return... Well, hold on. Let me take that back. That's not the case. Tuesday is the release of the Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit. If you have no idea what that is, it is a one-off free game that's being released by Don't Nod Entertainment, the same people who made Life is Strange, and apparently this is some kind of an episode that ties into the main campaign or main story of Life is Strange. Why they're releasing this for free out of nowhere and what actual relation it'll have to the main plot, I think it remains to be seen. We're not sure yet. So I guess we'll find out. That's going to be released on Tuesday, and I will be playing that on Tuesday. And then, if I finish that up on the earlier side, which I probably will because people are saying it's only about 2 hours long, then I'm probably going to switch over and do a little bit of Street Fighter for the rest of that main Tuesday stream. Then Tuesday night, I'll be doing some H1Z1. So Tuesday will be a huge variety of content, okay? Wednesday, I'll be returning to Half-Life 2, continuing on with Episode 1. From what I understand, Episode 1's about 4 hours long. So there's a big chance I'll be finishing up Episode 1. Okay, and then I'll swap over to Episode 2, which is the final expansion episode for Half-Life 2. Alright. Wednesday night is kind of up in the air. I'm not exactly sure what I'll be doing Wednesday night, but what I'll say is maybe more Mario Tennis Aces, only because I think that might make sense if I played it on Monday, maybe do it as a Wednesday night kind of thing, and see how it goes, alright? Thursday is a new game, if you guys can believe it. It's not exactly a high-profile game, but it's a game that I played the beta of a few months ago, called Fighting EX Layer. So if you don't know what this game is, I don't blame you. It has gotten literally zero coverage from anyone. Like, no one's really talking about this game. This is a fighting game that was made by a company called Eureka. Now, if you don't know who they are, I don't blame you either. They haven't really done anything significant since the 1990s or early 2000s. This was a company that back then got a license from Capcom to make the first 3D version of a Street Fighter game. So what they did is they took Street Fighter characters and made 3D models of them and made this game where it was kind of played like Street Fighter, but it kind of didn't. It had a bunch of super cancels and stuff that weren't present in Street Fighter. So it was kind of a unique thing. But then they also added in their own original characters. So the game was not only Street Fighter, but a bunch of new characters as well. Well, a long time has passed. Alright, a long time. And now they're making their own game only with the characters that were their own original creations. And it releases this week. So I am going to be checking that out later this week on Thursday. That's going to be my main gameplay stream. Me checking out this Fighting EX Layer game and seeing, you know, exactly what it entails and if it's any good. Thursday night, again, I'm kind of having it open. I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing Thursday night. Maybe Thursday night I'll do PUBG for a random session that I haven't played PUBG in a million years. I know the game has had a bunch of patches and stuff. I don't know. We'll see. We'll play it by ear and we'll see exactly how, you know, what I decide on doing. But Thursday night's kind of open right now. And then on Friday, ladies and gentlemen, after all the anticipation, it finally begins. Ladies and gentlemen, Friday night, or Friday all day, is going to be my Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Master Run Challenge, where starting at my normal streaming time and going for a good 7 to 8 hour plus marathon, I'm going to be attempting to beat all of the arcade modes of the Street Fighter franchise in the Street Fighter Anniversary Collection, starting with Street Fighter 2. Alright. And it's going to be pretty interesting. On the hardest difficulty, this game cheats like crazy. There's going to be tons of rage and salt. It's going to be one hell of a fun marathon event. And I hope you guys are ready for that this Friday. All right. So how far will I get? Will I actually beat all 5 Street Fighter 2 games, plus the Alpha games, plus the Street Fighter 3 games? Will I run into a roadblock that takes me 2 hours to beat, if I even beat it? You know what I mean? I don't know. We're going to find out firsthand. So I hope you guys are excited for that on Friday. All right. So what a variety. We've got Half-Life 2 and its expansion episodes, the conclusion of Vampire, Mario Tennis Aces, a little bit of Street Fighter, some H1Z1, maybe some PUBG, and a new fighting game and Fighting Game EX Layer. That is one hell of a variety of stuff for the last week of June. I mean, holy crap, what a way to start to end it strong, right? So that should be a lot of fun, and I hope you guys will come and hang out with me every day on stream when you can. It should be a ton of fun, regardless of what I'm playing. I want to say thank you guys who do that, all right? Now, just so you guys know, starting in July, once I start wrapping up some of this stuff, so for example, once I wrap up Half-Life 2, the next game on my agenda is The Simpsons Hit and Run, which I haven't even looked into buying yet. I'm still debating if I should get it digitally or I should buy the GameCube version and maybe play it emulated on my Wii. I'm not sure. No one really has told me, oh, this is the best version. I don't know if there's differences between the versions of Simpsons Hit and Run. So I'm kind of waiting it out a little bit until I get closer to it and then try to figure it out. But that's going to be a playthrough I'm starting up in July. As well as once I, again, start wrapping up some of this stuff, I'm going back to Persona 5. So that's going to be another playthrough that I'm balancing with everything else. So it'll be Simpsons Hit and Run, Persona 5, probably some H1Z1 and PUBG occasionally, probably weekly Street Fighter sessions. And then also in July, I'm going to do some throwback playthroughs in honor of my 10th anniversary as a content creator for the internet, probably including games like maybe Silent Hill 2, maybe Grand Theft Auto Vice City, I'm not sure. You know, there's a few ideas I have in my head of games I'd like to play for the 10th anniversary. So I'm mulling it over, and I'm hoping that eventually I will have a better idea of what exactly I want to do, okay? So we'll see. I'll let you guys know. But July should also be, even though July is pretty much dead, and there's 0 new releases besides Octopath Traveler, which I'm not going to start till I finish Persona 5, I still think it's going to be a great month. And I think that you guys will have a lot of fun coming and hanging out with me every day, if you so choose to. Okay? Okay. There you have it, my friends. No, not Halo ODST, Lord Lamb. How dare you even suggest that? Alright, guys. So, that's it for the schedule. Thanks for listening. Now, very quickly, it's time for some plugs. Let me go through my plug segment, and then we'll get to shout-outs. For those of you who've cheered, subbed, and tipped, there were some people who actually did so on my day off, which is much appreciated. And then we'll get to people who want to cheer, sub, and tip now and get some shout-outs on the pre-stream, maybe get their names up on the leaderboard, all right? Keep in mind, this is the final day of the week when it comes to the cheer tracker here that's built into the Twitch chat. So if you want to get on that top 10 leaderboard for the week, you have to do it today because it will reset overnight, and tomorrow we go back to 0. All right? All right, guys. So, thank you guys for 10 years of support. I have been a content creator for the internet for 10 years, and I've done it for a living for 7. I love doing this for a job. I don't ever want to have to stop if I can help it. And although that day may come, hopefully it won't be anytime soon. You guys have been incredibly supportive, whether watching my videos on YouTube or watching my live streams here on Twitch, especially with the big changes I had to make in the last year. I'm very happy that you guys were so supportive of all of that. And, you know, my Twitch channel continues to grow. More followers, more overall subs in general. We build this channel from the ground up, and it's working out really well in that regard, and I'm very happy. So thank you guys for that. All that being said, my friends, okay, all that being said, the best way that you can continue to support me is just to keep watching my videos and my live streams. I mean, it's a no-brainer, and thank you guys, everyone who does that. But if you would like to go above and beyond being just a standard stream viewer or video watcher, and you'd like to maybe contribute in a bigger way, there are multiple ways that you can help me out, of which I will describe right now. First and foremost, this is the most pertinent one right now because there's only about a week left to do so. Actually, a little bit less than a week right now. My Patreon, okay? If you head over to patreon.com/darksidephil, with 6 days left in the month, I'm holding a monthly, pledge campaign for June. And if you pledge to my Patreon this month, not only will you help me out, obviously, and allow me to continue to do this for a living full time, but you get things called perks, which are basically a way for me to say thank you and give back to you guys. Since, obviously, if you're contributing, you're helping me out, I want to give you something back. Since, in any way that I can. And depending on how much you actually contribute determines what kind of, thank you kind of gift you'll get. That being said, the best one, in my opinion, is if you pledge $5 or more, but $5 is the requirement, by the end of this month. So if you do that by the end of June, the next 6 days, you will be able to nominate and vote on games for my upcoming Rageathon event. This is an event where, for a marathon session, 7 or more hours, I'll be playing games that basically are designed to cause me frustration. Whether it's a game I've already played in the past or a game that I've never played before, any kind of a genre, it could be a platformer, an action game, a sandbox game, a fighting game, a puzzle game, anything like that. Okay? And the whole point is to basically create salt during the stream and watch me get frustrated because the games are handing my ass to me, right? So that being said, that's an awesome event coming up, and you could be a part of it. In particular, people who do these events, who are part of them, there's only about 50 people who typically do end up kind of nominating and voting on games. So I just want you to think about this for a second, okay? $5 pledge, all right? 50 people are going to be taking control of an event that on stream will probably have hundreds of people. On YouTube will have thousands of people watching, right? That's a pretty unprecedented thing. So you might want to jump in on that. I mean, it's a crazy amount of power over, what a content creator does. Most other people don't give that kind of power to their viewers, all right? So give it a look over at patreon.com/darksidefilled. By the way, that's not the only perk. There's many other levels of perks that you can get as well for your contributions. So please give it a look. Every little bit helps. And thank you to anyone who's considering pledging or anyone who has pledged in the past, all right? Only 6 days to go. So just to forewarn you guys, all right, if you want to get in and you really want to be able to formulate this event, you got to pledge soon. Less than a week left to jump on that, because if you don't and you pledge in July, you're not going to be able to. You got to pledge by the end of June. In July, there's going to be a whole different event, which, by the way, I think is going to be one of the greatest events I've ever done, and I think it's going to be really good. It's an original idea, but we'll talk about that when July hits, okay? Okay. Number 2, guys, is my Teespring shop, where I sell fun merch, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, stickers, mugs, fun stuff, all designed by viewers and fans, meaning logos and artwork and all kinds of slogans and the like, memes, all, stuff designed by my own viewers. Great quality stuff. I can attest to it. I own many of the shirts. Some of them I've owned for over a year, and they have not faded whatsoever, nor has the stuff worn out. These are great quality shirts. The mug I use every single day on stream. And anything you buy from my Teespring, I get a commission from, so it helps me out. But obviously, you guys also get a cool collectible. So please give it a look over at teespring.com/stores/DSPGaming. And anyone who buys anything, thank you very much. But certainly, last but not least, if you're here live on the stream and you want to get a shout out, maybe you're having a lot of fun, that Half-Life 2 maybe is one of your favorite nostalgic style games, and you're loving seeing me play it for the first time. Hell, I'm really enjoying playing it for the first time, that's for sure, okay? So if that's the case, and you want to see me give you a shout out during the stream, there are 3 ways that you can qualify for that. You can either cheer with bits, you can subscribe to the channel, or you can tip me. All right, if you do any of those 3 things, I will give you a verbal shout out during the gameplay stream. However, there are some criteria that you will need to follow to ensure that I do read your stuff out, because this is a stream where I control it, and it is very subjective what I decide to read on my own streams. Here are the criteria. Number 1, please be as short-worded and concise as possible. The quicker you say something, the higher chance I will read it on the stream. Don't give me a giant paragraph or a soliloquy or lyrics to a freaking song that I don't understand. Chances are I'm not going to read that stuff because I don't know what the hell you're talking about, or I just don't have time to derail the stream for 5 minutes to read a giant message, okay? Number 2, please try to stay positive. Do not be toxic. Do not try to cause drama or to derail the stream. So number 1, please, no topics such as religion and politics. This is not stuff that people want to hear about on my gameplay stream. This is a place to have fun and hang out and chill out with a fun game being played. It's not a place to start bringing up these controversial topics that will get people into arguments. All right. Number 2, please no insults or anything like that. Don't try to insult me. Don't try to insult others. Don't come in here, saying racist stuff. Don't come in telling me about, oh, Phil, this person insulted you or is illegally restreaming your content or blah, blah, blah. I don't care about any of that. This is supposed to be a positive, fun place for people to hang out and be basically taken out of all that drama crap. They want to see me play a game and have fun and interact and see my honest opinions and talking and genuinely interacting with people in the stream. This is not a place for crappy drama, all right? So please keep all that crap out of there, all right? Keep all that crap out of there, if at all you can. Most people who try to get a cheer during the stream understand this. And quite frankly, the streams end up being pretty positive most of the time. There's just a few bad apples or people who are maybe newcomers who don't listen to the rules or don't know the rules. And so I'd say 95% of the time my streams are great. Every once in a while you get a little bit of derailing. But for the most part, it's a great time. And people come back every day because they love it. So thank you for that, guys. Now, you can also get a visual recognition for your contributions, meaning a fun animation will play on the stream if you either cheer 50 bits or more in one shot, if you subscribe to the channel and wait a few minutes for a share button to appear and you click on that share button, or if you tip me $5 or more in one go, all right? Any of those 3 methods, and you will get an animation, a thank you animation to play on the stream, and it's a cool thing because you get both visual and verbal recognition for your contributions, all right? Now, subscriptions. Let's talk a little bit about this, folks. Subscribing to the channel. Right now, we had a little bit of a dip. I had a day away. And it's expected that when I'm not streaming, you're going to have a dip in subscriptions, all right? And that's fine, Sometimes it's going to happen. There's nothing you can do about it. There's a natural time when sometimes you're going to have a dip, all right? In particular, we had about, 12 subscriptions that were lost over yesterday when I wasn't here. And that's okay. Okay, but that being said, if you subscribe to the channel right now, what benefits do you get? Let's talk. Number 1, you get access to all of the fun emotes, including the brand spanking new DSP Ryu, as well as the Hadouken and Fireball emotes. They're not even a month old yet. People have really been enjoying these over the last month as I've been playing Street Fighter. In particular, this week I'll be doing some Street Fighter on Tuesday, as well as my Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Master Run Challenge on Friday. So if ever there's been a reason to subscribe and get access to some fun, new Street Fighter related emotes, this would be the week to do so, because you're going to be able to use the hell out of them. All right, that's number 1. Number 2, you don't have to watch advertisements when I run ad breaks. So typically I usually run 1 to 2 advertisements during a stream. If you subscribe, you don't have to watch those advertisements. Just a forewarning, this coming Friday during that Street Fighter marathon, more than likely I'm going to be taking breaks, maybe 1 an hour, maybe 1 every couple hours. And since it is a 7 to 8 hour marathon, you can expect me multiple breaks. If you're subscribed, you won't have to watch any of the ads I run during those breaks, okay? So there you go. And then, last but certainly not least, you get the cool Chat Crown badge that shows off how long you've been a supporter. When you start off, it's a bronze crown. As you become a 3-month supporter, it's silver. At 6 months, it becomes gold. And then at 12 months, you get some cool rubies that get encrusted on that crown. All right. So a really cool thing. And I want to say thanks to everyone who is an ongoing sub. This month, we saw a lot of growth in the subs department, which was great. The month ain't over. We still got, a week left. So please consider subbing. All right. Fair enough. All right. And last but not least, guys, how do you tip me? Some people may ask that question because I mentioned tipping earlier, but that's not part of the cheering or subbing process. Very easy, 2 different ways you can do it. You can either look below my live stream here on my Twitch channel page and look for a button that says Tips Jar, and if you click on it, it'll take you to the PayPal Tips page where you can either be anonymous or you can leave your name in a message if you'd like a shout out. Or if you don't see that button, it may be because you're on a mobile version of the site, which is perfectly fine. If that's the case, please type !tip into the stream chat, and that will actually have a link be posted up in the stream chat that you can click on, and you can tip me via that link. All right. So there you go, guys. That is the plugs. The typical plugs. I got through them relatively quickly today. Okay. Now, my friends, time for shout-outs. So this is going to be shout-outs for those who cheered, subbed, or tipped either earlier, before the stream started, because there were some people who did so when I wasn't even here, which is nice. And then the people who cheered sub and tip during today's pre-stream, okay? Keep in mind, again, as I said, we got the stream stats leaderboard up today. So if you do cheer, sub, or tip, and you're the top cheerer or top tipper, you're going to make it up on the leaderboard. All right, so let's begin. First of all, we had several people who contributed when I was not here yesterday, and I want to say thank you to those people for keeping me in mind when I was not here. All right. First of all, we had your boy Thump, who resubbed for the 6th month in a row, earning his Golden Crown chat badge. Thank you very much, your boy Thump, for 6 months of support. We also had a person named Whole Yeet Rye. Not sure who that person is, but they were very generous because they gifted 2 subs. They gifted a sub to Zubatil and also to Camolox. So those people got gifted subs to the channel. Congratulations. And then Infinite55 did a 150-bit cheer. Thank you, Infinite55, for that cheer. And then just this morning, before I went live, Johnny Saurus Rex resubbed for the 8th month in a row. And he says, 8 months and counting. Always a pleasure to watch your streams, Phil. Best of luck to you and Kat. Thank you very much, Johnny. And what I should say, because I have not been able to say this publicly on a stream, verbally yet, is thank you guys, those of you who were here on Friday. I did a very special IRL style stream where for about 2 hours it was myself and my girlfriend Kat sitting here talking with you guys and answering your questions. There were a couple bad apples as usual, but in general it was a really positive experience, and Kat was honestly really nervous that people were going to be very nasty to her. What she saw is that at least when we're on stream, most of that stuff is very controllable. And we had a lot of fun just sitting here kind of answering questions for, almost 2 hours. It was a great fun experience for both of us. It was the first time that she had ever really been on a major stream. And she had a lot of fun. Now, that's not something we want to do all the time. Real talk, we do feel that if we did it all the time, it would get stale and people would get bored of it. But maybe every once in a while, maybe every few weeks, maybe once a month, have a stream where we just sit down and we talk with you guys and answer questions and, all kinds of stuff like that. I think it would be a fun event. Okay. All right. So maybe we'll do it. Maybe we won't. We'll see. Okay. But thank you, because overwhelmingly the feedback we've gotten was positive. People telling us this is something fun that we really liked and we'd like to see you do it more often. Of course, now people going crazy. Well, Phil, will Cat be in 100 co-op playthroughs? And we already answered that on the show that no, we're really not looking to do anything cooperative anytime soon. When we do, we want it to be something special that maybe both of us want to play. In fact, it was actually suggested on that stream that when Wolfenstein, The New Blood, or was it, no, excuse me, Wolfenstein Youngblood comes out, which is a 2-player co-op first-person shooter experience. Maybe we play that completely in co-op or something like that, okay? That's a game we probably both love because we both like Wolfenstein. So, but no, we're not just going to jump into any co-op game, any cutesy game, just to do a co-op playthrough. Instead, we're going to look for something that's special and fun to us if and when we finally decide to do co-op, okay? So we'll see, but yeah, that was a good start. Let me put it that way. It was a good start. I think people really liked it. In general, the stream was very positive. People were supportive. So maybe in the future we'll do more. But we'll see, moving forward. It's kind of like I said, Kat is a person who, she does not want to impose herself into my content. She realizes the reason people come out and turn out for my streams is to hang out with me. And so she said multiple times, oh, I don't want to go in there and interfere because it's about you. It's not about me. And I told her, I was like, listen, people are interested in you because, now we've been going out for almost a year. You moved in February. They never see or hear much about you. So, of course, people are going to be interested. And she's like, oh, no. She's a very humble person. Very humble person. And so it was actually, kind of an ongoing thing to finally make it so that she wanted to be on a stream. And it ended up going well. So that's the good news. So we'll see moving forward how stuff goes. But thank you guys for Friday. Okay. All right. Now let's get the shout outs for today. All right. So first of all, we start off with Federico. Tipped me $5 and said, well, first of all, before I even read what he said, let's get him up on the leaderboard. You're the top tipper for today, Federico. So thank you for that. Hold on. Oops. There we go. $5. Thank you very much for that contribution. All right. So Federico says the following. He says, I find it silly that to play certain games, they have to depend on the mercy of your viewers. Otherwise, you would not play them or just stop playing them. Case in point, games like Ori and the Blind Forest or Kirby. Well, Federica, in an ideal world, right? In a world where I wasn't in a lot of financial trouble, which I am, and in a world where I had, 3, 4, 5, 6 times more viewership than I do, which I don't. We're talking a world, essentially, the world of, 2010 to 2013 Phil. There was a good 3 to 4 year span there where it didn't matter what I played, it didn't matter how I played it or how long I played it. People loved whatever I did, and would turn up to watch it. Okay. Now, even in those days, real talk, there were still games like, for example, JRPGs / retro games that I loved, and even when I played those back then, they wouldn't get a lot of attention. For whatever reason, my viewing audience is not heavily into certain genres of games. I understand that. All right. I get that. And sadly, being that this is my business, I mean, is it my hobby? Of course it is. I love this job because I get to do what I love as a hobby for a living. So that's an amazing thing. But I have a limited amount of time to do gameplay streams and a limited amount of time to make videos. And when I do that, I have to do things that are going to be profitable so I can pay my bills, keep my house, and not go into financial ruin. It's that simple. Sadly, that is the task of an adult, is to balance work and life and enjoyment all in a way that it all works. All right. Now, what I found in general is that every once in a while I can get away with playing a game that doesn't necessarily get mainstream appeal. All right. So, for example, if I want to play a game like Unravel, or I want to play a game, like Vampire, for example, or a game where, all right, maybe people are interested at first, but then it's not a hot game, and so people stop watching. Usually I can get away with it as long as I'm balancing it with something else that people are turning out to watch, okay? In general, things have really changed in the last year because, as you guys know, I used to be 100% dependent on YouTube ad revenue. So if people didn't watch it on YouTube, basically it was a dead project. And I had to play another project that people would watch at the same time. Now it's a little different because now with Twitch stream interactivity, I could be playing a game that doesn't get a lot of views, but as long as you guys show up and participate, with your contributions, it doesn't actually matter how many people are on the stream. And in fact, I've told you guys this, and I'll say it again. I do not watch how many viewers are on my Twitch streams. Never at any particular time do I know how many people are on a stream. I don't have it on my laptop. I don't have it on my desktop. I don't look at that anymore because that's not even a factor. There are days when I'm playing a game for, 200 people, which is very low average kind of view count for my streams, but people are very generous, and therefore the stream's a successful stream. So why do I care how many people were actually sitting there on the stream, right? And the good news is, as long as I'm enjoying the game, right, then it doesn't really matter, okay? So things are in an interesting way here. That's the bottom line. If I'm playing something that's not profitable, but if people are showing up and contributing and being generous, it doesn't matter if it's a stream that gets a ton of views or a video series that gets a ton of views on YouTube, because it more than makes up for it. All right. But on the flip side of that, it's kind of, I'm at the mercy of my viewing audience. It's true. This is a business. This is how I make my money. I'm not someone who does this casually and has a job outside of this, and therefore, you're right. If I want to play Ori and the Blind Forest, and I start to play it, and in general, people are saying, this is boring, and they stop tuning in, and no one's contributing, and no one's watching it on YouTube, it's very hard for me to continue on with a playthrough like that. And that case in point, that's exactly what happened a few years ago when the first Ori and the Blind Forest released. I did give it a shot, and no one liked it. And I said, well, regardless of if I'm liking it or not, I guess I just got to kind of throw my hands up. Now, the exception to the rule, like I said, is if I'm at a time of year when there's something that's so popular, it doesn't matter. And I remember, there was this game, Child of Light, that I played a few years back. That also was a Metroidvania-style game like Ori, but it had turn-based combat elements as well in it. It didn't get a lot of views. Not a lot of people liked me playing it, but I loved it. And at the time, I was playing other games that were getting big attention. So I was able to balance Child of Light with the other games, and it didn't matter that it didn't get a lot of attention. Okay? So that's kind of the key. All right? That is the key, where if I'm in a situation where things are going so well with something else, then I have the flexibility to then go out and do other stuff too that maybe isn't as exciting. Okay? So there you go. That's kind of the deal. And everyone knows that, but, every once in a while I get a tip or I get a question like this, and people ask me. That's how it works. And that's why you may see me, why the hell is Phil still playing such and such a game that no one's watching? well, maybe it's a game that in particular I'm enjoying a lot. And in particular, I have a niche audience of people, even though it's not a lot, that are enjoying it. And I'm already doing well enough at that time that it's okay for me to kind of sacrifice and not play something more popular to be able to finish that particular game. In the case of Ori and the Blind Forest, I'll be honest, I didn't love the game. I thought it was alright. It was just okay. And the people watching hated it. So I was like, meh, why am I going to go out of my way to finish this game when most people don't like it and I just don't think it's nothing too special either? I mean, did it look artistic? Sure. Did it play original? Meh. It played like a Metroidvania game like most others, you know? So for me, it was like, I didn't really care to continue it. So we'll see, you know? Moving forward, it's an interesting premise because, like I said, there's some games that I've always wanted to play that I never get to. Maybe if I finally get to a point on stream where things are so good. It's like I've told you guys, I don't want to be at the mercy of YouTube anymore. I don't. I want it to be that every day I come and I do streaming, and I make enough money on stream that I don't have to worry about any kind of YouTube ad revenue at all. If I can get there, which I'm not yet, but it is getting better. Let me tell you guys. In general, streaming, I am getting a better viewership. I'm getting more followers, more subs in general, and more people contributing. So if we can continue to grow organically like this in the next, say, year, maybe there'll be a point where just the YouTube revenue is just the icing on the cake, and it doesn't matter how much I make on there. If I could just be good with just the Twitch stuff, then I could play whatever the hell I want, right? So let's see what happens. I mean, we could get there. We could absolutely get there. But I think the problem that a lot of people have is that they look at me and they unfairly compare me to other people who are way more popular. Well, I don't understand. Because, you know, Dan's Gaming or whatever can play whatever game he wants, and it doesn't matter. And he never just drops a game if he says no one's watching it. Yeah, and he also has like 20 times as many viewers as me and makes like 20 times as much money. So yeah, when you're rolling in dough, you can do whatever the hell you want. And I can attest to that because, like I said, back from 2010 to 2013, that was the situation I was in. I had so much popularity and making so much money doing it, it didn't matter what I played. I could play whatever the hell I wanted. And I could even take a week off to go to a convention or whatever. And no matter what I did, it was viewership gold. It's not that situation anymore, you know? We just have to... I know it's a hard transition. There's still people who are sad that I don't do co-op with my old friends anymore, and there's still people this and that. Change happens, guys, you know? And we just got to come to the reality of what it is. You know, did I want it to get like this? Of course not, but this is how life works. Sometimes things go great, sometimes they don't go so great. I got to adjust with the times and be realistic. So, eventually, maybe, like I said, the Twitch channel will grow to the point where I can play whatever the hell I want, and it doesn't matter. Right now, we're not there, but let's see how it goes. Let's just keep the positivity up, guys. Okay? Is that right? Is okay? Is that right? Alright. Alright, so New Face of Creation has insulted me, and he'll get a 10-minute timeout. I really don't understand why I allow this guy to stay in my stream chat, because he literally will sit here and just say nasty stuff about me constantly. He always does. Yet somehow, because he's friends with other stream chatters, I allow him to be here. I don't know why. He basically just said I have a bad personality. Well, guess what? Then why the fuck are you here every day? So enjoy your 10-minute timeout. And if you come back and you say one more thing, I'm seriously done with this guy. He pisses me off on a regular basis, and I just let him get away with it. I don't know why. You know, when you have that negative, toxic influence, you shouldn't let people just keep doing it. But I'm too nice of a guy is the problem. I let people get away with it, you know. All right, anyway, let's continue. Timbo Slice cheered. He says, Phil, Germany got lucky this week. No, excuse me. Let me read that again. Phil, Germany got lucky and survived last night. Do you think the world will end if defending champs Germany get eliminated from the World Cup this week? Oh my God, I can't even read this. Timbo Slice, as I've said many times, I know absolutely nothing about football, about the World Cup. I'm not following it. In America or the United States here, very few people actually follow it. Primarily, the people who follow it are people who actually are immigrants from, say, Europe or South America, or, you know what I mean? Like, people who came from countries where the football is huge. Those are the people that are, like, interested in it. The primary people here, like the Americans who are, you know, here for a while, we don't care about soccer, football, whatever you want to call it. The World Cup is like a non-event. I know that sounds crazy because to some of you, it's like the biggest thing on the planet, right? But to us, we just don't care. We have our own weird thing. You know, we have American football. We have baseball. These things that you guys don't care about. That's the sports that are big here. So, as I've said many times, not only do I not follow the world of sports at all, but now you're asking me questions about something that, in particular, even if I did care about sports, I probably still wouldn't care about, because here in the United States, we just don't care about that, okay? So, that being said, Timbo, I thank you for the cheer. I have no comment whatsoever on anything you just said because I don't know anything about football, soccer, whatever you want to call it. Okay? Okay. Shout out to Anonysaurus Rex. He cheered. He said, Phil, I love the IRL stream. It was funny that people tried to spin it negatively, but there was nothing negative about it. Pretty sad they can never give you credit for a good thing. I don't even know. See, Anonysaurus, here's the thing. And this is the truth of the matter. At this point, thank God, I'm completely isolated from all that bullshit. When we were here on the stream, we saw almost next to nothing, no negativity. You know, the stream itself was very positive. People were really enjoying it. You know, people asking tons of fun questions and everything. And there was some silliness in there, of course, but it was a really great stream. Afterward, I uploaded it to YouTube. Guess what? There's no comments on DSPGaming, so those idiots didn't get to spam my video with negativity and nastiness, okay? In general, the streams, you know, you see today, no one's saying anything negative. Everything's having, you know, back to normal, right? I'm absolutely sure that all those idiots ripped the video illegally and chopped it up to make their own negative shit about it, and I don't care. I actually saw zero negativity on Twitter, because guess what? Any of those idiots who say negative stuff about me and my girlfriend anyway are already blocked or banned. So I literally did not see a single piece of negativity about Friday's podcast. Zero. So even though I'm absolutely sure it exists out there, let those people do it in their own circles, right? Let them make their own videos and kiss each other's butts and, you know, do whatever they want and think that they're the bee's knees and they had a nice field day because I made a video with Kat. Big fucking deal. All I know is we had fun together on Friday. It was a great positive experience. And like I said, even though we're not going to jump the gun and do that all the time because we feel then it wouldn't be special, that's something that we would consider now doing more in the future because people liked it so much. And that's all that matters to us, the positivity of the people who are here to have fun and actually be positive. We could care less about what the negative idiots do. Because if I spent every waking moment on what the negative idiots did, I would never do anything positive. I would spend too much time because they're just so enamored with me and everything around me. They're just out of control. You know, what would happen if I won the lotto, right? And I won like $100 million so I don't have to work. And all of a sudden I said, you know what, guys? It's been great, but I had so much negativity in my life because of this thing. Even though I've loved doing it, the ride's over. I'm done. And immediately I just stopped making videos and streams. What would these people do with their lives? What would happen to them? Seriously. Because a lot of them, this is all they do. The only notoriety they have in their life is to make fun of me. It's the only reason they're known. Some of these people, they try to do their own stuff, their own streams. No one watches. Then they make fun of me, and all of a sudden, all the negative, drama queen, toxic people of the planet come out to watch. So what would happen if I didn't exist anymore? I mean, really, it begs the question, what would happen? I mean, it's scary how obsessed some of these people are. So, for me, I don't care about their negativity. I like doing what I'm doing. And, I didn't see any of it, so it didn't bother me in the least. So don't worry about that. All right, shout out to Bean Reaper, who did a 500-bit cheer and says, longtime viewer from Australia. I tried to send you a guide to get you back to go to Dark Souls. I hope this little bit helps. Well, thank you very much. Let's get you up on the leaderboard. So if you are the person who I believe you are you the person who... I'm trying to remember. Dark Souls. Because when I first played Dark Souls, years and years ago, my first playthrough of it, I wanted to buy the strategy guide, and it was sold out both online and in all the stores around me, because everyone who bought this game couldn't beat it because they didn't know anything about it, and it was so fucking hard they had to buy the guide to figure it out. Now, keep in mind, this was before the era of every game having a wiki that immediately gets updated for free. There was no Dark Souls wiki at launch, so everyone had to buy the strategy guide to figure out the goddamn game. Now, I remember, like, a year or two later, I think it was at a convention, someone gave me the Dark Souls strategy guide, okay? But I don't remember anyone from Australia giving me a guide. So, in particular, I apologize. I don't particularly remember you, but I will say thank you for your contribution. And, thanks for the support. Awesome. AES cheered. He says, what are your thoughts so far about Mario Tennis? Honestly, AES, from what I'm hearing on social media, any opinion that I would have about the game is gravely skewed. Because as I said earlier on this pre-stream, looking at tweets about Mario Tennis, the vast majority are positive, but those are all people who played the game against humans or online. It seems like everyone who plays the campaign is pissed. Everyone who plays the campaign is like, wow, this campaign sucks. It's totally unbalanced. The game cheats, it blocks your special shots. It has abilities you don't have. The campaign is just broken and not fun. But everyone's saying the game is like a blast to play against humans and play online. So, my opinion is the campaign's been interesting. It's like playing an RPG almost. But, just like I said, it's been unbalanced. And now I'm at a point in the game where I don't even know if I can continue on. So, I get the feeling I'll have a much more formulated and more intelligent opinion about the game once I actually play it against humans in a real match and understanding how do the real mechanics of the different shots work. How does using the special shot, or the zone shot pan out in a real life match versus just against a computer that does kind of scripted shit. I don't know. So I guess we'll find out. But, I don't really have a formal opinion because I haven't played enough of the game. Bent Boxer cheers a happy Gay Pride Month. There you go. Brunus Martins did a 150-bit cheer. He says, finally back to Half-Life. Can't wait to see you play episodes 1 and 2. Good luck and have fun. Thank you, Brunus Martins, for that. I appreciate that. And I am very much looking forward to wrapping it. I could tell I was at the very end of Half-Life 2's campaign when I had to finish on Thursday. So hopefully today it'll be a big, nice finale finish, and then heading right into the next episode should be great. Okay. Timbo Slice, cheer. He says, in November, I'm going to be coming to Seattle for the Packers versus Seattle game. Any good places to see or eat at all that you would recommend, seeing that I'm there for 4 days? Well, the stuff that I can attest to is the more touristy stuff. Because even though I've lived here for 4 years, I live in a suburb of Seattle. I don't actually live in Seattle. So it's not like I've spent so much time in Seattle. I've found all these local places that are amazing or whatever. But here's what I can recommend. Number one, there's a touristy block. There's like a block of areas, including the Space Needle, the Pop Culture Museum, the Chihuly Glass Gardens, the Pacific Science Center, and there's a monorail there that takes you into downtown Seattle for shopping. That alone could constitute 1 to 2 days of your trip because there's so much to do in that one confined area, all right? Another great place in Seattle is the waterfront, and the way I recommend tackling it is first check out Pike Place Market, because along the street that market is on is a bunch of shops and restaurants, and then there's an actual outdoor market with a bunch of indoor shops that, again, you could get lost there and end up being there for like half a day to a day. Then, if you walk down the staircase that the market is in, you'll end up at the waterfront, the actual water side. Down there, you've got things like the pier, I forget what it's called, something pier, I forget. But they've got a bunch of shopping there. They've got a big Ferris wheel called the Great Wheel that's world famous. They've got a motion ride that they've now put there that's similar to rides at like Universal Studios. That's kind of awesome. They've also got a bunch of restaurants and stuff down at the waterfront. And one thing I recommend that you try to do if you can is take the ferry. If it's a nice day, they'll take you out onto the lake, and you'll be able to see beautiful views of all the mountains, okay? So that's just a few of the touristy things I can recommend. For food, as you know, tons of seafood out here. This is a big place for seafood, so any seafood restaurant's probably going to have great seafood for you. But I would strongly recommend, if you like pizza, try to go to a place called Rocco's. It's a really small place, but they have gourmet-style New York pizza and really great cocktails, although they're very expensive. Rocco's, R-O-C-C-O, Rocco's, okay? Great pizza, gourmet, giant slices, amazing pizza. Some of the best I've ever had. So there's my recommendations if you come to Seattle. There you go. Shout out to Omnisius, who did a 241-bit cheer. Thank you, Omnisius. And he says, will you ever go back and play Oblivion or maybe even Morrowind now that they're on Xbox One? Maybe. If there was a desire, from a group of people, not just an individual here or there, but eventually if a group of people were to step up and say, Phil, we'd really like to see you play Oblivion or Morrowind, I would consider doing it. In fact, now we finally know that Elder Scrolls 6 is in development, right? So maybe, as we get closer, let's say in a year or 2 years, we get tons of information about this game now, maybe then would be a pertinent time to play some of the old school throwback Elder Scrolls games, right? For now, I have no plans. Like I said, this summer already I have plans to go back and finish up things like Persona 5 and the like. So since I've already got plans for certain RPGs, no, I have no plans to go back and play Elder Scrolls anytime soon. But it's not out of the question in the future. All right. All right. Woomy cheered and says, I'm back in Cali. It would be a happy occasion, but I have a tummy ache from all those tacos. The first thing I did when my brother picked me up was hit up a taco truck. 10 tacos later, I'm in bed with a tummy ache. I miss tacos so much. Well, good for you, Woomy. Good to hear that you're back home in California. I've never eaten from a taco truck in my life. The only food trucks I've ever eaten from, back in the day when I lived on the East Coast, I used to go to New Jersey for gaming tournaments. And sometimes after like a gaming tournament ended, one of the tournament organizers, Jet Fee, used to take us to a university. There's a college university there that had a bunch of good food trucks, and he'd take us out there, and we get like a giant, cheese steak or something like that, a gourmet sandwich from a food truck. But outside of that, I've never actually had food truck tacos. Although they exist, I know they exist. I've seen them before, these food trucks that sell that kind of stuff. 10 tacos is probably too much for anyone. That's quite a lot of red meat. So, yeah, it probably gave you a tummy ache with fair reason. That's a lot of meat. That's a lot of grease. All right. Hopefully, today's stream, you can just relax and enjoy it and not get too shaken up. Eternal Napalm. Subscribe to the channel for the 5th month in a row. And says, I'm loving your Half-Life 2 playthrough. It must be a real treat since most shooters these days lack good campaigns with depth and atmosphere. It's true. It's absolutely true because, there was an era. I would say it was actually the era of when I had first started doing videos for YouTube. That era of 2008 to like 2010, 2011 even, where first-person shooters were still a fad. They were one of the biggest fads because if you guys remember when Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1 and 2 came out, they pretty much completely reinvigorated the entire first-person shooter scene, all right? And so they got super white-hot popular, and you had so many games that franchises that were rebooted or reinvigorated that were first-person shooters, and a lot of them had good campaigns. In particular, games like Bulletstorm, Singularity, and stuff like that, right? Kind of bring to mind how good the games were back then. And then they just kind of faded into obscurity. They disappeared for whatever reason, and then we went on to the next fad and the next fad and the next fad. So it's been a while since, in my opinion, I say probably the last great AAA style game, first-person shooter that had a great campaign would have been what? Bioshock Infinite, right? So I don't, that being said, yeah, it's been a while. So for me to now be playing not only, a fun first-person shooter with a variety of gameplay, but also one that's known as a classic for the amount of gameplay, the amount of variety, the story, and everything that's so good in it, is great. A game that I've never actually played it. I only got to the hovercraft segment a million times, and I hated the segment, and never really got past it to the point where I got to experience the rest of the fun game, and I'm loving it now. So, yeah, pretty sweet, right? So, yeah, awesome. Again, thanks to the patrons who nominated and voted this game to be the Patron's Choice playthrough for the start of the summer here. It's been very successful and very fun. So I'm having a blast with it. I can't wait to finish it today and then start the expansion episodes, quite frankly. Okay? Woomy cheered again. She says, isn't the East Coast full of hot dog stands? Which is your favorite taco? Mine are the mini tacos with spicy pork. That's what I overdosed on. Well, first of all, when you say, is the East Coast full of hot dog stands? No, not in my experience, not where I came from. You got to remember, I came from Connecticut. I didn't grow up in New York City or something like that where there were always constant hot dog stands everywhere, okay? In Connecticut, most of that stuff doesn't exist. So, I personally cannot attest to food truck kind of food. I've very rarely ever had it in my life. Favorite kind of tacos? That's a tough question. There's a lot of tacos that I've had. For example, steak tacos from this Mexican restaurant that's near me here are quite good. There's also a place called Baja Fresh, which is a chain. It is a fast food chain, but they're really not typical fast food. They make everything you order fresh, right in front of you, right on the grill. So if you order like soft chicken tacos, oh my God, it's like grilled, flame grilled chicken, cut into these delicious, delectable, juicy strips with a little bit of melted cheese, some fresh lettuce, tomato, pico de gallo, onions, and some kind of like a tangy cilantro lime sauce. Those are fucking good, man. Those are amazing tacos. On the flip side of that, I've also had good fish tacos. I've had these really good fish tacos around here. I think it was mahi. Was it? No, now I don't remember. Now I don't remember what the hell kind of fish it was. But they were good. Fish tacos, again, they have kind of like this lime-style sauce on them with different, like a tangy slaw with the fish. Those are mad good, okay? So, honestly, red meat tacos don't really do it for me. Like, you know, first of all, tacos at Taco Bell. Those aren't real tacos. Those are terrible, okay? But even, like, red meat tacos are kind of meh for me. If I'm going to go tacos, I want to go a step up from just getting, like, ground beef. I want to do something different. The pork you're describing sounds great. I've not really had any good pork tacos ever. Even though they do offer them at some Mexican restaurants out there, I've never tried it. Maybe I'll try that next time I go to a Mexican restaurant. Maybe I'll try some pork tacos and see if they're any good. So there you go. And shout out to Tantamounter, who did a 150-bit cheer. Thank you, Tantamounter, for the cheer. I appreciate that. Okay. So that being said, my friends, let's also do shout outs to those who are the biggest cheer contributors of the week. These are people who this week really were generous with their contributions, and I want to give them credit where credit is due before we start with today's gameplay. Because in particular, these leaderboards are going to reset overnight, okay? Okay. So thank you very much. Let's now do a shout out. The top 10. Number 10, Ben Tatership. Number 9, Dignon. Number 8, PS Geek 23. Number 7, Zacho 056. Number 6, Fallen 1570. In 5th place, Orange X Juice. In 4th place, Anonysaurus Rex. In 3rd place, Brunus Martins. In 2nd place, Infinite 55. And sitting there in 1st place, Ost Mink. Thank you guys for your contributions very much. You guys are really awesome, and I appreciate it. When we cheered again, it said, ooh, you like Baja Fresh. All praise the naughty squid. Yeah, see, the thing is, like I said, we don't really have food trucks around here. If you want Mexican food, you go to Taco Bell, which is terrible. You go to Baja Fresh, which is a major step up from Taco Bell. Freshly made food right there for you. Or you go to a restaurant. And there's actually 2 different Mexican restaurants that I usually go to around here. Both of which are quite good. But, you know, if you're just getting something quick versus a sit-down restaurant, you know, how often do I go to a sit-down restaurant? Once a week, once every couple of weeks, you know? So it's not something that I do often. And, yeah, I'm absolutely sure if I go to the sit-down Mexican restaurant, I'll get something better than what's at Baja Fresh, but I don't do it often. Much more expensive, right? Oh, my God. Did you guys just say Chipotle? Chipotle is... I mean, don't get me wrong. Chipotle tastes good. I've only been to Chipotle maybe 5 times total in my life, okay? And every time I went there, the food tasted good. So don't get me wrong. It's not like bad tasting food. But that's food that's been sitting there all fucking day. You know, it's not like, oh, here's fresh. No, that shit is made and sits there till it's done. You know, it's basically buffet style. It sits there on a fucking heater, and they just shovel that shit into your food until it's done. Then they make a fresh batch. But that's not authentic. That's not made to order. That's not fresh grilled, fresh made. You know what I mean? Like, that's assembly line food. That's certainly not high quality food. Even Baja Fresh, everything you order at Baja Fresh, they make fresh. That's why the fucking word fresh is in their name. You see what I mean? Chipotle, you're getting old food. Unless you actually see them bring out the fresh batch and put it into your tortilla, you're getting old food. So there you go. Okay. Alright, shout out to M Zink. M Zink just tipped me $5. Thank you, M Zink, for that tip. He didn't actually say anything afterward, though. I guess he just wanted to be nice and contribute, so thank you. Let's get you up on the leaderboard. M Zink is now tied with Federico for the top tip contribution today. Thank you very much. So again, thank you to Bean Reaper for the 500-bit cheer. Thank you to Mzink and Federico for your $5 tips. You guys are the tops of the leaderboard for today. But if anyone does more than a 500-bit cheer or a $5 tip, you will get up on the leaderboard. I'll periodically check the sub count, but for right now, we're at 495. Okay? Thank you guys for your contributions. I hope you're ready to enjoy the conclusion of Half-Life 2. I sure am. All right? And I think it's time. Okay? All right, my friends. Thank you very much for your contributions. Let's now begin with the conclusion of Half-Life 2, which should be a hell of a lot of fun. And then starting up episode 1 to see what that's all about. Okay? Thank you, thank you. Great pre-stream and great week, right? This is the beginning to a brand new fun week of content. I hope you guys are ready. I'm ready. All right. Let's begin with Half-Life 2. Here we go.